We've officially got sneak peeks for the long-awaited reworks of NEL Isagi and NEL Rin. Yes, it's real. The devs actually showed us their new animations and some of their moves, and I'm not even going to drag this out. Let me show you what they look like. So, after watching those sneak peeks, you can probably see it yourself. The animation quality in Blue Lock Rivals is going up every single week. Every update, every patch, they're stepping it up. It's like watching the dev team level up alongside the game itself. And honestly, these reworks, they look like absolute cinema. That's the only way I can describe it. Now, I want to know from you guys right away, whose awakening animation do you like more? Is it Rin's or Isagi's? Personally, I like both. Rin's has that sharp energy, but Isagi's feels smoother and cleaner, almost like it flows better. If I had to pick, I'd say Isagi edges it out just a little bit for me. But still, both look amazing, and once we get the sound effects added, it's going to be on another level. The SFX always make or break an awakening, and I don't think the devs will mess that up. But before we go deeper into today's discussion, I just want to say that if you are somehow interested in my content, I would be happy to see your like under this video, and of course don't forget to subscribe to my channel. It keeps me every time motivated and happy to see you as a part of our community, so thank you in advance. Let's go to the main topic. Alright, let's go deeper into what we know so far. Rin has already had two of his new moves revealed. The first one is his curve shot. And not just any curve shot, but a real base move. This is something players have been begging for ever since the domain became such a messy part of his kit. Finally, Rin gets a proper curve shot as a core part of his moveset. That already puts him in a way better spot. The second move for Rin is called Center of Gravity. Now, I'm not 100% sure if this is a base move or an awakening move. If it's a base move, honestly, that might be a little busted because it looks so strong that I'd personally put it in awakening instead. And if it does end up as an awakening move, it really deserves a full cutscene animation to make it pop. But we'll see tomorrow. Or depending on when you're watching this, maybe even today, since the update is literally dropping. Either way, this is the kind of move that can redefine Rin. As for his third move, it hasn't been shown yet, but I think it'll either be a dash or some kind of dribbling move. It would make sense because his current kit feels incomplete without one. If the devs want him to be a skill-based style again, like he used to be, then he needs a dribble that rewards timing and precision. That would bring him back to the level fans expect. Now let's switch over to NEL Isagi. With him, it's all about direct shot and a possible new form of metavision. Everyone knows Isagi's entire playstyle is based on reading the field and using his positioning to create chances, so his new kit has to reflect that. Direct shot is exactly what it sounds like. A clean, powerful finish that fits his character perfectly. And if they rework his metavision too, I think this could finally make him feel authentic again. Right now, his moveset feels kind of broken. Not in the too strong sense, but in the doesn't fit him sense. Removing his dash and replacing it with that buggy lefty shoot was honestly a downgrade. But these sneak peeks give me hope that he's about to get the love he deserves. Now, Awakening is where things get really exciting. We've seen the new animations already, but we haven't seen the Awakening moves themselves. That's the part I think everyone is most hyped for. Because if the base kit already looks this good, imagine what the full Awakening is going to bring. For Isagi, I am 99% sure that his Awakening move will include the two-gun volley. If you know the manga, you know how cinematic that moment is. And in the game, the two-gun volley honestly looks a little bit outdated, I can say. And judging by how the devs have been pushing their animation quality lately, I think they'll make this shot an absolute masterpiece. I can already see it being one of the most iconic moves in the game. For Rin, his Awakening shot also has to be top tier. Rin's entire identity is about being the rival. the one who can match Isagi's plays but in his own way. His awakening shot needs to be stylish, deadly, and just as cinematic as Isagi's. Based on the sneak peek, I think we're in for one of the best visual updates the game has ever had. And this is where things get even more interesting. Because reworks like this don't just make a style feel fresher, they also change the balance of the entire game. Right now, Rin has fallen off hard compared to other world-class or generational styles. His domain didn't age well, and Isagi has felt half-finished since his dash got removed. But with these reworks, both of them could climb back to the top. Imagine queuing into Ranked and actually being afraid when you see Rin on the field again. Imagine seeing Isagi as more than just a side pick. Imagine him being a core threat that people plan around. That's what these reworks can do. And think about the ripple effect. If Rin and Isagi become strong again, it forces other players to adapt. Defenders will need to be sharper. Goalkeepers will need to react quicker. Even the newer styles like Livigno and Bunny will have to find ways to compete with them. Balance isn't just about numbers. It's about how the entire ecosystem of the game shifts, and I think this update is going to be the start of a new era. Now let's talk about the online numbers. Every time reworks like these drop, the player count spikes. With Livigno's release, we saw huge excitement. With Bunny, the game broke records. And now, with both Isagi and Rin being reworked in the same patch, I honestly think we could break past 600,000 players online. Maybe even 700,000 if the hype carries. These are the two faces of Blue Lock. They're the characters everyone knows, and when you make them exciting again, you bring everyone back into the game. And don't underestimate the power of hype. People talk about balance patches, they talk about leaks, but nothing brings more energy than seeing your favorite characters shine again. The hype is already spreading through the community, and by the time this update drops, I think we're going to see some of the most active lobbies in months. Now, let's be realistic. Not everything is going to be perfect on day one. There might be bugs, there might be moves that don't work exactly as shown in the sneak peek. Maybe Rin's curve shot still has some weird conditions. Maybe Isagi's direct shot won't feel as smooth as we hope right away. But that's fine. The important part is that the foundation looks strong. The devs are clearly listening, and they're clearly putting in the work to bring these styles up to standard. So here's my message to anyone who's been waiting on the sidelines. Now is the time to jump back in. If you dropped the game because Isagi felt awkward, or because Rin's domain didn't make sense, this is your moment. The devs are clearly listening, they're clearly improving, and this rework is proof. And as always, I want to hear what you guys think. Between Rin and Isagi, whose new awakening animation do you prefer? Do you think Rin's new curve shot will bring him back to meta? And what kind of awakening moves do you want to see for both of them? Let me know in the comments, because this update is going to spark a lot of discussion. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to leave a like. It really helps the channel grow. And get ready, because tomorrow we're all going to be playing with the reworked Isagi and Rin, and I have a feeling this is going to be one of the best patches the game has ever seen.